Hello and welcome to my newest YouTube video. Today we are hitting up the local Value Village and Mission Mart in Fabricville to find a vast variety of different shades of yellow to attempt to make a Belle costume for $50 or less. At the end of the video I'm going to go over all of the expenses, but for right now we are in Fabricville. They only had this shiny yellow plasticky fabric. This one was way too sheer, but this one was perfect. But I didn't want to spend the money on it, so I stuck it down and hid it on the bottom shelf and went to look at patterns. I do end up leaving without it, which was a mistake. And they didn't even have any patterns I wanted. I ended up just using a pattern that I have at home, this one here, to make the top, and then I just figured the bottom out. I couldn't figure out how much the tulle was because they had so many different types. Turns out that this one was marked for $3.49. That's the one I ended up getting, but it was actually 99 cents a meter because it was on clearance. I ended up buying the whole roll. Then I am now in the hardware store looking for PVC pipe to attempt to make a hoop skirt for the very first time. Obviously I'm not getting any dark colors, you'll be able to see it through the skirt, but I did find this white one for 12 bucks, and obviously I regretted not getting that yellow fabric, so I went all the way back to Fabricville and went back to where it was. I literally went back there after like 20 minutes and someone had already had it out looking at it, so I was like, I'm buying this whole thing. Then I got my buttons and my twill tape, and now I'm at home looking at all of the stuff that I spent money on and calculating it up, but we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. So this big roll, that's what I got at Value Village. And then this second one, I didn't end up using this. It was only $1. It was marked for $3.97, but it was on 75% off, but I didn't end up using it. I will use it for future projects, so I just put it on my cart, and next project I have that has yellow in it, I'll be happy that I have it. The tulle, I bought the whole thing. It was about 16 meters worth, and it was 99 cents a meter. That's going to be great for future projects as well. And then the PVC pipe. I'm going to use that to make the hoops. I do end up using all of that. So now I'm looking for some white fabric on my really horribly messy fabric cart. I need to get something bigger to put my fabric on. This white is really sturdy and like thick material, so I end up using that for the belt of the hoop skirt to go around my waist, and so far it's been holding up really well. Now I'm going to do a little time lapse of me making the hoop skirt and the costume. This goes by pretty quickly because I just edit my videos like that. I've been told that it is annoying and I should slow things down and just talk, but I am too much of a yapper and I'll start talking about random stuff and then I'll never stop. And then it'll be too hard to edit and then I'll lose motivation. So that being said, I have been doing this Cosmas thing during December this year, where every day on Instagram you add a new post of like a question or a cosplay, and yesterday's was, what is your best piece of advice you've ever been given in the cosplay community? And I think mine probably would be, you need to ask yourself, what is fun to you about cosplay? A lot of cosplayers will say, well, it's just for fun. It's just to have fun. But like, what does fun mean for you? Because for me, fun is buying all of these little random scrap pieces or as cheap as possible fabric as I can get and making something out of it that is completely new and wearable. So yeah, I don't know. I discovered something about myself yesterday, was that that's the part of cosplay that I really enjoy. I've been in the cosplay community for 17 years and I only just started getting back into it a couple of months ago, and so far I'm really enjoying it. After having some pretty bad experiences in the community over the last couple of years, just focusing on the actual like crafty side of it is what's really got me back into enjoying it. Before this costume, I ended up making a full Fizzarolli costume and a full Vash the Stampede costume. And until a couple of months ago, I never sewed. I didn't know anything about sewing. I didn't know anything about cosplay crafting other than styling wigs. Me and my partner have always had sort of the silent rule of I'll style all the wigs, you make all the costumes. I'll make all the props, you make all the costumes. So that's it. That's the whole thing. I yapped through it. Thanks. Bye. Hello, welcome to the end of the video where we go over all of the expenses and everything that we did during the process that cost us money. I made a list of all the expenses that cost us while we were making the costume. I haven't added it all up yet, so we're gonna find out at the same time if we were over 50, under 50, at 50. I'm gonna guess probably over, at least a little bit. But this is the very first time that I've ever tried the cosplay speedrun challenge. I don't even know if it's a thing, but I'm deciding right now it's a thing. Alright, so the first expense is our first fabric that we bought was $3.99. I included in the video that we had bought a second fabric and a third fabric. The second fabric we didn't end up using, so I didn't include it in the list. The tulle that we bought was $16 in total, but I only ended up using 2 meters of it. I didn't get a video or a picture of the actual price of it. It says $3.49 in the video, but it was actually 99 cents per meter because it was on clearance. So I only ended up using 2 meters, therefore I'm only including it as $2, because I feel like including the whole $16 when I'm not going to use it for this project, likely for future ones though. Yeah, doesn't feel worth it to add $16 when I only used $2 worth of it. The PVC pipe I used was $12. The buttons I bought 3 packs at like $1 something each, but I only ended up using 2. The 2 packs were $2.60, so they must have been $1.30 each. So $2.60 for the buttons. The twill tape I bought was 69 cents per meter, and I bought about 10 meters, and that would be $7. The beads and the roses that I bought were $1.99 each, and then the third fabric that I bought, which is what I ended up using for the majority of the costume, ended up costing us $25. So now I have my calculator, and now I'm going to calculate how much all of it is. Likely some of you already have it done out on your head because you're better at math than me. So $3.99 plus 2 plus 12 plus $2.60 plus 7 plus $1.99 plus $1.99 plus 25. All right, we were at $56.27. Oh, 57 cents. So $56.57 is what we paid for the whole costume. That's really close to $50. I'm gonna do more of these in the future, but chances are that depending on the complexity of the costume, I'll probably end up making the budget a little bit more for some. The next one I want to do is Jinx from Arcane. And I'd like to do sort of the same technique that I did with this one, where I go to thrift stores and I thrift a vast majority of the items that I use to make it. Just because I think it's a fun challenge, and it's pretty cool to be able to like make a costume from literally nothing. I think that the love that I get for cosplay comes from the challenge of figuring out how to make something from so little. That to me is what makes it fun, besides like hanging out with friends and going to conventions and stuff. So yeah, so $56.57 is what we spent to make this whole costume, not including the little things that I already had here and there. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your view, and if you have any ideas of things that you'd like to see for videos or things you'd like to learn for cosplay, leave a comment and I will put it on the roster to see if it's something that I'm able to do and or teach and or try. So thank you. Bye.